Does Gayton Mckenzie do important work as a sports minister? I believe he does. Is he better than the last 5 or 6 ministers of sport? Yes, I believe that. So, therefore, I believe that his use of the K word, it should be condemned. Of course, people should say, don't use the word. But should he lose his job because of it? Hell no. Hell no. So media, if you're watching this and you want to get a soundbite from me, here's my soundbite. Stop canceling people. Stop reporting on racism when there are far more important things that you should be reporting on. Because ultimately, racism isn't one of the big issues in South Africa in 2025. It might have been in the 80s and the 90s. It's not in 2025. I've listed earlier what the big issues are in South Africa, and unfortunately, mainstream media doesn't do enough to cover that. But hey, when a racist incident takes place, every single media house covers it. And that tells you everything you need to know.
Hey, peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Seso. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane, host is in Jiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. Oh, thank God we dashed this bullet of this waste of space or Ronaldo horse. Oh my God, thank God. Not remorseful about the actions that have been taken against him. Not, you know what? We dodged a bullet, and there's still people with this mentality in the DA, in the Freedom Front Plus. They just have not been caught. I wonder why is it that now that these issues of racism are coming out, why are we not searching all of their accounts? All of them. And hearing what they were saying years ago. All of them. Black, white, pink, green, yellow, colored, everyone. Everyone. Thank God we dodged these bullets of Ronaldo horse. Thank God. I'm very happy. Person is saying they should stop reporting on racism. Really? Racism is not that important. In 2025, racism is not the... It's people that don't understand that how racism got us where we are today. Where we stay. Where we are educated. The wealth of our family, the standard of our living, our thinking. Like, they don't understand just how much racism has impacted us as African people. That's why they'll tell you, racism is an old thing, apartheid is an old thing. They enjoy the fruits of the apartheid, what do you call it? What do you call it, Konjomuntu, when they get apartheid legacy or inheritance. They enjoy the inheritance of the apartheid. We enjoy the pains of apartheid, and then they want to tell us apartheid is an old thing. Racism is an old thing. Leave this thing of racism. I'm so happy this waste of space, Ronaldo horse is out of our way. And he must not talk about cancel culture. He's the last person to talk about cancel culture. Nobody cancelled his social media platforms where he's still hustling and getting a salary from. Nobody said, cancel him, take him out, write to TikTok. He's got a big TikTok account. Write to YouTube, let him, he's racist. Nobody did that. Nobody did that. We just wanted you out of public office because there you represent all South Africans. And you can't represent all South Africans with the mentality that you have. So continue doing YouTube, continue doing whatever. There you will be reported differently for other, but in public space, we cannot have waste of spaces like you, Ronaldo. Telling you. Sis. And we have now Gayton. Gayton was also asked about this issue, his apology. Did he apologize? He did not apologize. The mentality of Gayton Mckenzie. The more he talks, the more he gets himself in deeper shit. I'm telling you. Listen to what Gayton said.
On to that.
All right. Explain to me first. Have I directed, using the word, have I directed it at somebody? Have I ever called anybody the K word in my life? Is there anybody that can come up? Number one. No, there's not. I had hundreds and thousands of followers. When those tweets came out that day, it was making a point, because I hate racism. I was making a point, and when I made that point, why was there no uproar? Why was there no complaint? Because now they are changing what I've said. Somebody there, I showed you now, somebody said, this word was, I'm the one that called a person to order. And where I used the words, why don't they go and check? It was the quotes of Gandhi.
One of the tweets suggests that words like Tenderpreneur and Black Diamond basically just describe you as a beta K word.
Yes.
Would you own that? That suggests
100%.
that.
100%. Let me explain something to you. The first thing that Africans, the mistake they're making, they want to own this insult as exclusively African. It's not only them that's being called that. I grew up in the colored community. That's also insulting towards us. The word is not belonging to the African black exclusively. So it's not the insult alone. So when somebody says to me, and you must check the conversation before that, Mckenzie, you a black diamond. I said, you know, you're being racist. Why do you think I'm a better black? That is in the context. You can't take out the tweet of 15 years without context.
Are those tweets correct? In your position as a cabinet minister now, if you were to write those tweets this very moment, would you?
No, but I wasn't a cabinet minister. I was a socialite. I was a troll. I was a Twitter thing. There's a lot of things I look at back today that I cringe to say, did I really say that? But racism, you can't put racism on me. I always tweeted as a black person. So who was I racist against? Against my mom? Against my children? Against myself? You see, my brother, let me tell you straight up two things very clearly. This thing has nothing to do with this. This is all politics. Let me tell you something. That's the first thing I want to say to you. This whole thing, they have to go back. This is a campaign against me. For you to go back 15 years and come here. You know, if there's things I did 15 years ago, the president should fire me with some of those things that I did 15 years ago.
And those calls are mounting this very moment for you to go as a cabinet minister because of these tweets. How do you respond to that?
I think firstly, let me just make one thing clear. I didn't hire myself here. Two, President Ramaphosa hired me. If President Ramaphosa called me right now and he says, I want you to resign, I will never fight him. I will, within 5 minutes, he will have my resignation because I respect him. And after 5 days, you will not hear me have anything bad to say about him or the GNU because I believe.
Mabangati, I tweeted like a black person, but oh, I tweeted like a black person. What else? Oh, yeah. He says here now it's not racism because he did not direct it to anyone. And you know, guys, you defending this type of mentality. PA people, man. It's embarrassing to think like that. Yeah, I did not say the K word. I quoted Gandhi. You quoted Gandhi. You quoted him for what? You are endorsing his quote? You are agreeing with his quote? What did you quote him for? Because you can hear this he's making a racist statement. You're quoting him to do what? To celebrate what he's saying? The other time where you are quoted the other person, you wrote bullshit. According to you, you said bullshit. This is nonsense. When you quoted Gandhi, you did not write bullshit. Gayton, stop, man. Stop this thing of yours. Stop it. Because everything that you are saying is going to be used against you in the Human Rights Commission. I hope we get to listen to what they're going to say. People telling black people don't own the word, the K word, to be exclusively against you. How can we want that word to be exclusively against us? Why would we want that? Why would that be something that we are proud of to say, hey, don't use the K word against other people. It's our word. Use it against us. Why would we do that, Gayton? Why? Why? When we were not the only ones that were used, that word was used against. Yeah, no. He says it's not our insult. It's not only our insult. He says he treated like a black person. Yeah. Anyway, let's see how this thing. I mean, I'm tired. I hope this is the last time I speak about this Gayton thing. I actually recorded this video yesterday and I deleted the clips by mistake before editing them. So that's why I'm doing it today. So you'll excuse me. I'm a little bit late. And the Open Chat podcast, Young Boys, gave an apology. This is very good. The apology was more structured, better structured than the first rubbish nonsense that they said there, because they were still laughing, not understanding the impact that their statements had to the colored people. So now that they have apologized properly, but they're still saying we are open if the PA wants to come to our podcast and discuss. The PA said no, because the PA was not about the statements that were said there on going to fix the perspective about the distance and the gap that is continuing to open between coloreds and African people, or colored and black people, let me rather say that, because coloreds are African people according to some of us, but some coloreds don't think that they are African according to Gayton. So then we must stop calling these Dutch people African then. We will really need to talk. We stopped calling them Africans, the Dutch people. So yeah, that's what that's the mentality of Gayton Mckenzie. But I'm happy the boys came with a solid apology. And I saw some people accepted the apology, and of course other people will not accept the apology but still make excuses for Gayton for the things that he said. You know, selective judgment that we have in our community. It happens to almost every one of us. So that's what is happening. Those who favor these ones will say this. But let me just play the apology for some of you who did not see it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on Kings. So don't forget to click the subscribe. Hey, subscribe button. I'll appreciate to grow this channel a little bit more. Let's get the quality up of this channel. The sound is something that I want to fix so much, and couches. I want to buy couches because I want to do more interviews, but I'm planning to do that next year on the elections, because I want to make sure that I can get politicians in a comfortable place, my friends in a comfortable places, sitting in couches, so that we can talk more. I want to go more live more. And the family member of mine that was in hospital for 2 months here in Kimberley, 2 or 3 months now, it's out, it's at home. Thank you so much for the messages of support, and we really appreciate it. Now we've got a lot to then further rehabilitate this person, but at least we are doing it from home. It's better than visiting the hospital each and every day. We had a bad experience with the hospital, one of the hospitals here in Kimberley. Terrible experience, but as they say, God remains good. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on Kings. So until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace and Pan-Africanism. I salute you.
Okay, guys, I think before we start today's episode, there's been a lot of things happening on social media, on the news, and I think it's very important, out of respect, we address this thing. Statements are not enough, online statements, because the things are said on the podcast, and I feel it's important to also render an apology on the podcast as well. So what we did today, we just made sure that everyone who was a part of that video is here to formally apologize, And guys, I want to make something very, very clear as well. I had to write this down, this apology, to respect the moments and make no mistakes. So you'll forgive me. I have to read this from my phone. Okay. So yeah. An episode of Open Chats podcast, episode 128 to be more specific, has gone viral for all the wrong reasons. With this episode 131, we here at Open Chats podcast wish to unconditionally and unreservedly apologize for the hurt and the harm we caused to the colored community and to South Africa at large, and we take accountability for our utterances. Our statements in the episode were racist, sexist, unfortunate, irresponsible, reckless, and un-African. Our statements have caused so much outrage and offense, not only in the colored community of South Africa, but to all South Africans, irrespective of race, color, or creed. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize on behalf of the entire crew of the Open Chats podcast. We recognize that the success of this podcast and all affiliated podcasts is as a result of the right to freedom of expression we enjoy and benefit from. However, we recognize and now understand that we cannot exercise this right in such a manner that we unfairly discriminate against others based on their race, and we cannot strip anyone of their dignity through reckless utterances. Episode 128 of the Open Chats podcast has been removed from all our platforms, and we regret that it still continues to be decimated by people not associated with our platform, therefore causing further outrage and pain. We therefore ask that we stop causing further hate and request that no other person shares it any further. Beyond this apology and the removal of the offensive episode from all our platforms, we at Open Chats Podcast wish to demonstrate our remorse through further action. We commit to educating ourselves on the human rights, race relations, and racism at a reputable institute of higher education, so we understand these rights and never infringe the rights of others again. We at Open Chats Podcast also wish to invite any South African political parties, particularly those who have publicly stated their dissatisfaction with us, to discuss matters around human rights, race relations, and racism in an Open Chats podcast to be recorded in due course. We intended on approaching the South African Human Rights Commission as a further measure to demonstrate our remorse. However, due to the outrage of our utterances, many interested parties approached the South African Human Rights Commission and rightfully exercised their legal rights and constitutional rights and lodged complaints with the institution. Our legal team are liaising with the South African Human Rights Commission and aggrieved parties to reach a resolution soon. We remain committed to comply with any directive by the South African Human Rights Commission. We are disappointed with ourselves and the blatant disregard we showed when talking about vulnerable group of people. We remain remorseful and request for the forgiveness of the colored community of South Africa and all South Africans, irrespective of race, color, or creed. Any further communications regarding this matter can be sent to our legal representatives for further processing and attention. We're really, really sorry.
Yeah, bro, to the color community and all the viewers, man, I also would like to express our sincerest apologies for myself and on behalf of the team as well. And Open Chats, we are truly sorry for the damage that we've caused. And yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.